And now, with his informative speech on the electric car, Highland Spurgeon!
Hello. Today, today I would like to talk about the electric car, which actually most people don't know, but was first started in the 1890s, around the same time that the gas-powered cars were started. I learned most of that from Electric and Hybrid Cars: A History by Curtis and Judy Anderson, who talked about the race that they started trying to develop the most convenient and best way to move on from horses. Um, but most of my knowledge of what happened with the electric car was from a movie, which was Who Killed the Electric Car, which was a Sony Productions. And they talked a lot about everything that happened in California in the early 2000s when many cars were in a race to develop the first modern day electric cars that were on the road, and they were the EV1s, I believe was the name of it. And they were developed to roughly about 60 to 100 miles per charge, even though they had the capability of doing way more. Um, Most of big oil is what stopped a lot of the electric cars. And they even went to the point where they crushed the cars and forced everything. Most of that was done in California in the early 2000s. Today, a lot of the stuff that's done is by Tesla, which is by Elon Musk, and that's his most recent car, which many people own now. Most of the advocates of electric cars are people like Jay Leno and several other celebrities that are big on electric cars. Um, the battery length was a misconception that most people thought that it was only allowed to go to about 60 to 100 miles. In reality, they had the capability of going upwards of 300 at the time of the early 2000s, but most of that was killed to hide the secret of it and the ability of it because gas companies really wanted to have the control of all big business and of the road. And because battery cars are capable of not needing such tune-ups and different things that control it, um, and you didn't need the maintenance you need now for a gas-powered car. Because of that, most of the companies wanted to kill the electric car so that they could control who's buying it and how much they're putting in over and over again to keep the cars up. Um, when it comes to economy in America, it's all about who has the control. And for years, Americans haven't had the control with cars. Most of it's controlled by big oil. They control what we consume, how we consume it, and the money we're spending on learning new types of cars and new ways of transportation. Um, Another thing I read was When the Rubber Hits the Road, which was done by Andrew Niforek, who talked about a lot of the reasons that certain batteries didn't work in cold weather was the misconception most people had that cars couldn't run, electric cars couldn't run in cold weather, which is actually just a myth. They're actually capable of running in any weather. Um, yeah, so a lot of the things that I learned when it comes to electric car is we had the capability way back when. We didn't develop it because our desire for money and the people in control didn't want to give up those possibilities, and instead we hindered ourselves in how we could develop and grow as a country and learn to use new types of transportation and new things, and instead we hindered ourselves and we went backwards and we wasted centuries and even more than that to not develop what we could have developed. And that's what I learned about the electric car.
All right.